Hey, this is Fred at Ready Chapter 1. I'm the main developer of this website and the person who kind of, put a ton of work into putting this platform together and creating Ready Chapter 1 for you guys. So I wanted to take you on a quick test drive of the site, show you how everything works. So no matter where you're at on the site, if you click up here in this top corner, it's going to take you to the main categories page. And you'll see that we have general and genre fiction, we have kidlit novels, younger fiction. We're eventually going to have a nonfiction section, but that's not open quite yet. And then we have stuff for site feedback, and you'll see always up at the top whatever contest we're currently running right now. We're running one for a literary agent who is looking for some new stories. So yeah, this is how the site works. We go into any one of these categories where we're going to post, and right now I'm going into the YA and middle grade category. And Ready Chapter 1 is a give first community. So the way it works is before you're allowed to post your work, you have to give some critiques to fellow writers. And that way everybody gets feedback on their work. So it's sorted here by the fewest number of replies at the top. So if you look up at the top, you're going to see that there are some stories here, that could use a little bit more love. So go ahead and check those out. I'm not going to show you somebody else's work, but I will show you this one that is a test post. So here's how it looks. This is the start of a new story about a boy who gets lost at sea while taking out his dad's fishing boat. And so they've given us a little synopsis of what the story's about, and then they started their chapter 1. Then post all of chapter 1, and what's really neat is that down here at the bottom, we're not just measuring on narrative feedback. We're asking you to fill this out on a rubric, so you're going to tell us your gut feeling about the author's voice, about their character development, about the plot, about the dialogue, and about the descriptions. And so by looking at all of this, me as a writer, if this is my chapter, I'm going to feel like I understand where my strengths are in this particular chapter, and that might be voice, and where I might need to do a little bit of work and plot. And then I can go and I can read this narrative feedback as well, just to get a little bit more understanding of what folks felt about my particular chapter. So that's how we're going to give critique to one another, and we are. Oh, and let me show you real quick. Here's where you give your narrative feedback. So you'd hit reply here, and then you'd be able to type in your post. And we're really just looking for like one sentence about what resonated with you about this story, what you liked about it, some encouragement for that writer. Even if it didn't score really high, try and pick out the one thing that did stand out to you, and then what confused you or what you think could be done better. But we don't want to be prescriptive in that feedback either. So it's really like a kind criticism. So we want to say, hey, here's what I think is working for you. Here are some things you might want to look at. Here's some questions I had. Here some ways you might consider revising. So that's how you're going to give critiques. And as you give your critiques, you're going to earn points towards being able to post your own work. Right now, it takes 4 reviews of somebody else's work to be able to post one of yours. And that way you're going to end up with 4 reviews or more on your post. So once you've earned the reviews that you need, or done the reviews that you need to be able to post, then you'd come over here and you'd click Start New Post. And it's really simple from here on out. So you're going to give us your scene, your chapter, or your scene title, and you're going to give us a little introduction, where we're at in the story. So we want to know like a one-sentence overview of what the story's about. Because if this is chapter 5, then we want to know what happened in chapter 4, but we also want to know like what kind of the general synopsis of the story is. So give us one sentence about what the story's about, and one sentence about what happened in the previous scene. And then down here, you post your entire scene. We've got a selection of tags, so you can add tags that make sense for your story, and it makes it more searchable. And then you post, and that's about it. So that's how Ready Chapter 1 works. Let me close out of this. And and you'll just see that over time, you're going to kind of get those aggregate story scores, and you're going to be able to identify what's working with your story and what's not working. And what's great about Ready Chapter 1 and why we're really excited is that publishers are happy with this whole concept of story scores. They're happy with this data analytics that we're doing. So we're going to get more and more opportunities to introduce our top scoring writers to publishers and publishing representatives who are looking for new stories. So that's kind of the underlying promise of Ready Chapter 1, is that if we can all work together to create value for each other and to give each other reviews, then we're going to be able to level up together as a community, and we'll become the place where publishers come to look for new stories and new writers. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here at Ready Chapter 1. If it makes sense to you to be a part of this community, we would love to have you.